So heading into this week, guys, the market is hot, right? We all know that. The S&P, the Qs, they hit all-time highs last week. The Russell did as well. I think we hit 2890. Yeah, the Qs hit 712. SPY hit, I think, 738. Yeah, 738. And the Dow is almost at 50K. And you guys know the Dow, the all-time high is 5,500. So we're pretty much at all-time highs across the board heading into this week. And we're in the midst of earnings season. Well, I guess the bulk of earnings are behind us, but we still have a lot of companies this week that I'm excited about, and we're going to break down 5 in this video. We're going to break down the charts, the estimates, what I'm looking to do, and we'll go over the indices quickly here, guys. So hit the like button, make sure to subscribe, join my Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, and my private Discord. That's linked down below, pinned in the comments as well, or go to StockSurfest.com/Patreon. You guys know where to find it. And with that being said, cheers. I appreciate you all for tuning in. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day, too, by the way. I appreciate all the mothers out there. My wife actually is celebrating her first Mother's Day today. It's a great, well, we actually celebrated yesterday, too. And today we're making a weekend out of it, and I'm sneaking up here to make this video, guys. So yeah, let's bang it out. Let's bang it out. So we are heading into this week, excuse me, again, at all-time highs pretty much across the board. SPY hit 738. Qs hit 713, 712. The Russell almost hit 3,000, and the Dow is right back to 50K. What a time. What a time in this market, guys, as clearly it's being led by semis, the memory stocks. We all know the story here, right? AMD, Micron, Nvidia, SanDisk, all these stocks are just pushing the market through the roof. Amazon, Alphabet, you name it. All of these are just on fire. And the million-dollar question is, will this continue? Some say yes, some say no. I think we're due for a pullback in the short term, but I think it's going to continue, guys. I think Micron's going to 1,000. I think AMD's going to 500. I think a lot of these stocks have more upside, but we're due for some pullbacks, some profit taking, if you will, which we honestly might get this week a little bit. You can see AMD in the last couple of days really has had a little or some little pullbacks. I think we'll get something similar to this, where it went from 355 down to 300, 310. I think we'll get a similar drawdown on Micron, SanDisk, you name it. But overall, the trend is still very bullish, and I think we're in the second, third, fourth inning when it comes to the AI trade and AI in general. So yeah, that's where my head's at on those names. It's clearly breaking out all these names. The money, all the money in the market, it seems like it's going right into these stocks. So yeah, I think we're going higher. But in the short term, I think we could get some profit taking. But it's clear where the trajectory is, right? So let's go over one of these stocks. We might as well dive into the 5 here. And one of these has really benefited as well from AI, infrastructure, this entire play here over the last couple of weeks. Nebius Group has really done well, guys. And they have earnings coming up on, let's see, the 13th, which is on Wednesday in the morning. And this is a stock that we called out, not to toot my own horn, but do you guys remember we talked about it here at $90, $95? We talked about it filling the gap up to about 135. We nailed that move, and look at where it's gone since. I mean, now we're at 177. The stock year to date is up massively. I mean, we hit about 85, $90 to start the year. And now we're at 177, so we're up a lot, $100 a share pretty much year to date. And this thing almost hit $200 per share at some point, or I think later in the week last week. So Nebius is on fire. We're pulling back a little bit heading into earnings, which honestly is a good sign. I would love to see this thing pull back even more, quite frankly, into earnings. That would be a great setup for a big move, as the company, analysts are projecting them to lose 71 cents in earnings per share. Okay, they're losing money, but look at this. Top line, they're expecting $388 million on average for revenue versus last year's $55 million. So guys, they're growing top line about 600% year over year, or at least that's the estimate, right? And the stock, you could argue it's got a lot of that priced in, but with the way things have been moving, and the way these companies have been just beating guidance, crushing numbers, I don't think I think there's a chance it doesn't have everything priced in, right? I think there's a good chance it doesn't have everything priced in. And the fact that, again, we're pulling back into earnings, that's a golden setup, especially if Nebius gets down even more. It's at 177 now. We're down $20 from highs. Let's say it gets down to 160, 165 before earnings. I don't know. We'll see, right? Let's say that happens. That's a great opportunity. If their guidance is super strong, upbeat, like a lot of these other companies, their guidance has been, right? If Nebius gives us that as well, that could be setting us up for a push back to 200, no doubt in my mind. So NBIS is by far one of the top stocks I'm watching for this week. We've been trading it here and there, and I'm looking at it here on this dip for potentially another opportunity. So that is NBIS. Oklo is another one. Oklo, which they're pre-revenue. You guys probably know that. Oklo is one that is very risky, I would say. Being pre-revenue, they're losing money, but it is one of those that is popular. It's one of those popular stocks out there that hasn't done much since the beginning of this year, and quite frankly, since October. The stock hit 195 in October, guys, and now it's at $72 a share. So we're down about 62% from all-time highs, heading into those earnings on, Tuesday after the bell. And look, Oklo is one that I look at, and every time I look at this chart, I kick myself, because if you guys were watching my videos back here, I was talking about shorting Oklo. I was on the fence. I was close to doing it, even buying puts, right? And I just didn't do it. I didn't pull the trigger. I was right in hindsight on that trade, and the timing was perfect. I literally was going to short it at 190, and I didn't. And here we are, guys. We're down all the way to 72. So that would have been an epic trade, and I would have been out of it by now. But man, what a dump Oklo has seen, and they're in desperate need, quite frankly, of some more momentum. Something out of the earnings report. They're in desperate need of a catalyst. You know what I mean? The stock's kind of down and out right now. We actually hit $45 a share a couple weeks ago. So at one point, it was down 75-80% from highs. So Oklo, there again, pre-revenue, analysts have them losing 18 to 20 cents this quarter they're about to report for, and it's still in a downtrend. I'm not too excited about it here, guys, but it is one of those that could catch fire out of nowhere. And the longer term charts, when in doubt, zoom out. The 3-year chart actually doesn't look that bad at all. It looks pretty good, actually, you could argue. So I think if they report great numbers, we can start moving out of $80. That's where momentum could pick up on Oklo. And HIMS is another one. And by the way, guys, full disclosure, I don't own any of these stocks as of this video. I don't own Nebius. I don't own Oklo, HIMS, or any of the other ones we're going to mention. But I'm close to buying a couple of these, right? Nebius being the top one, and all of these I'm eyeing up for trades at the end of the day, guys. And Hims and Hers has been one that I'm not the biggest fan of, but it is starting to build up some momentum into earnings. We have earnings on actually tomorrow after the bell on Monday, and we can see Hims and Hers has been making some higher lows, higher highs. You guys kind of see the price action here, right? But we're still in this downtrend. You guys notice it. We're still making lower lows, lower highs, and until we get out of, let's say, $32 a share, which has been support in the past, that's a major resistance right now. We got hit there in the end of April. Until we get out of there, guys, the bulls are nowhere to be found in my opinion. Even though they've pretty much ran the stock up 100% off the lows, the bulls are still in trouble here until we get out of 32 a share. Honestly, mid 30s in my opinion. We're going to have to blast through here for me to gain confidence that this thing's going higher, that momentum's picking up. So earnings per share, and guys, these numbers are not looking great. Earnings per share for HIMS is projected at, let's see, on average, 3 cents versus 20 cents from last year on revenue of $616.85 million versus $586 from last year. So they're going to grow, what, 5% year over year? Isn't this a growth company? 5% year over year? Yeah, I'm not loving that. And again, the downtrend is not ideal here. So we have to break through 32 bucks. I'm going to set my alert at 32. I'll put another one at $35, might as well. And who knows, maybe it rips after earnings, but for me, I'm not touching this thing. I'm not a big fan of it again, but I'm not touching it until it at least gets through 32, 35. So that's HIMS. Cisco is number 4. And by the way, guys, hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Follow along for more content if you're, finding value here. I think 50% of you guys watch the videos, but you're not hitting the follow button, you're not hitting that subscribe button, and that needs to change. I appreciate you guys for tuning in as always. I might need some water. Cheers, by the way. All right, so Cisco, CSCO, this stock has been going nuts. I mean, Cisco's up and to the right pretty much all year. All of the end of last year, and this stock just hit $96, $97 on Friday. We had a 5% green day, and is that an all-time high? Yes, it is, guys. Yes, it is. Cisco hit all-time highs for the first time, and get ready for this, 26 years, 27 years. So we're now just breaking out of the dot-com bubble highs, which is insane on Cisco and Intel for that matter. If you guys look at Intel, let's pull Intel up, INTC, same thing. This thing was at $75 during the dot-com bubble. It got all the way down to $18 at the end of last year, and now we're just going bananas, taking out those highs from 26 years ago and making up for the gains that were lost, right? Not nearly, probably. If you annualize the gains, guys, even with this big move, they're probably not great at all. They're not. I mean, since 2000, but either way, Cisco is this week. They're up and to the right. Stocks getting hot. And, when stocks are gaining momentum like this in this market, seeing how these stocks have been moving, you can't just say, oh, it's going to pull back for sure. You never know. If earnings come in hot, this could go up another 10%. Who knows, right? So analysts have Cisco doing $1.04 EPS versus 96 cents from last year on revenue of $15.56 billion versus, let's see, $14.15 billion from last year, up 10% year over year. Not bad growth. And again, the fact that we're seeing this cup and handle play out, it's ripping up and to the right. Momentum's clearly in the favor of the bulls here, guys. Cisco is a must-watch into earnings, and if this thing pulls back, after earnings, it could be an entry. So I like the way it's setting up. Earnings are coming up here on Cisco on, let me see the day. They're Wednesday after the bell. And last but not least, guys, we have one of Nike's biggest competitors, on. And they own, obviously, On Cloud, those shoes, I guess the brand or whatever you want to call it, amongst other things, right? And On has not been doing well, guys. Their stock's down massively from $51 down to about $35 here over the last 3-4 months. We're down 30%. We have a death cross. We're under the moving average, one of the moving averages here on the 4-hour chart. Earnings are coming up on the 12th, which is on Tuesday in the morning. And, at this point, they also need a catalyst. They're in desperate need of a catalyst. I'm sure things are looking a little rough with them right now regarding tariffs, energy prices going up. Logistically is probably making their operations a little bit more expensive. right? And I'm sure that's being priced into the company's stock right now. And again, it's down 30% from recent highs, and we're holding above 35 by a thread here. I'm not loving the fact that we took out that low, which, by the way, we hit 35 back in November. I'm not loving the fact that we took it out a couple weeks ago, but now we're back over it, and ideally we hold 35 after earnings and start to build upon that support. But with the way things are looking on the charts, guys, I'm not too convinced of that quite yet. But On is definitely a company that long term I think does have potential. Short term, the charts look a little wonky, but long term, yeah, they're a big player in the space. I think, just my opinion, right? I think their shoes are way better than Nike. I mean, that's just one opinion from one guy. But I used to be a big Nike guy, and I still own Nike clothes. Don't get me wrong. But when it comes to shoes, yeah, I'm not buying Nike shoes lately, guys. I've been buying, 2-3 pairs of On Clouds per year pretty much for the last 2-3 years, however long it's been, and I'm a big fan. And I think, yeah, there are cost pressures here. There's a lot going on with On, but longer term, yeah, they're going to do well, in my opinion. The stock's going to come back up, and they've been giving Nike a lot of trouble. You've seen Nike stock. It's not just going down for no reason, right? Nike's facing a lot of competition. Nike's facing a lot of just pressures from all angles, and On is one of those, right? And analysts have them doing EPS of 27 cents, versus 21 cents from last year on revenue of, let's see here, guys, $822 million versus $726 million last year. So they're going to grow revenue by about 13% year over year. Pretty good, if you ask me. So yeah, keep your eyes on it. Earnings are on Tuesday, I believe. Let me double check that in the morning. 12th on Tuesday in the morning. So keep your eyes on these stocks, man. Buckle up. And again, I don't own any of these, but I'm super close to buying some Nebius. I'm right there with. I'm even considering Cisco if it pulls back after earnings, maybe an entry point there. But overall, again, I'm watching these. They're on the watch list, and we have a lot of earnings coming up, guys. Not just these 5, but a lot more companies. And maybe I'll do a follow-up video, talk about some other ones. Let me know if you guys want me to do that. And hit the like button. Make sure to subscribe. Join the Patreon if you want to keep up with my actual portfolio updates, my trades, my investments, how I'm selling options to create income. And if you want to be a part of the private Discord, check it out. Link down below, pinned in the comments, or go to StasSurfest.com/Patreon. And with that being said, guys, cheers. I'll see you all in the next video.